Okay, 40-second law of power. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. And I might take a different approach than Robert Greene did to this. Obviously there is the easy analogy that, like, if you take out the ringleader, everyone else kind of just falls back, and when you really take out the first, the biggest, the strongest person, like, the rest of the group will be dumbfounded, and everything seems to kind of fold, and then you can just go on your merry way. But I think at the same time it has a psychological implication too. Like, if you take out the biggest issue, everything else seems easy. And I want you to understand this fact, because not only can you apply this when you're dealing with people, but let's say you have something really weighing on you, and then you have a million other small problems that really spring up. Like, we tend to fixate on all of them at once instead of just fixating on the big issue. And when you take out the big issue, all of the small ones seem like nothing. And this is something that, like, I constantly see myself doing. Like, I constantly see myself having all of these smaller issues build up, and then I have one big thing, and the second I get that big thing, like, the small ones are like, oh yeah, this took me 10 minutes, this took me 15 minutes. But when you view everything at once, it really can get to you, and it can really get in your head, and you can really go like, oh my god, I really gotta get this done, I gotta do this, I gotta do all these things. And it's just, we need to slow down, and we need to understand this principle, because this is a very important one when it comes to just dealing with people and dealing with issues as well. And I'm trying to think of a good example, and a good example might be like, so I'm moving back into school, so I'm doing these, I have to sort out some of the housing things, I have to pay my bills, I have to do all these things, I have to schedule, I have to start getting bedding, I have to start getting sheets, I start doing like all these little things. But the main issue I really had to figure out was like, okay, how much do I have to pay? And because like I was like refusing to figure that out, like, I'm stressed out about, oh my god, I gotta go to Bed Bath & Beyond, I gotta go make sure that my clothes are clean, I have to do my laundry, I have to fold, I have to clean out my car so I can pack it. Like, I'm worried about all these small issues, but it's so stupid, because once I knew that, like, oh, I only have to pay this amount, like, it's not that bad, okay, I can set up a payment plan, I can do this, I can do that, like, it really kind of folded into nothing. And like, now I'm not stressed out at all. And it's just so baffling that we tend to fixate on things, and we see them as the big issues that they seem to be. And it's really just, if you just if you just get rid of the biggest thing, everything else seems to come into place. And I really can't think of an example of people, because I don't really get in confrontations with people, but I think you can also apply this to the psyche. And I think this is something that I want you to start really thinking about, because it's a useful tool in your arsenal. Like, the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene literally said himself that in writing this book, it wasn't necessarily for the people that are going to use the book to manipulate people, because those people have an inherent knack to getting their way, and they don't need the book. But the book is for the people that are constantly getting screwed over by society, that are constantly, they don't understand the invisible games that are going on. They don't understand why they're getting passed over for that promotion, or why their boss is getting angry at them when they go above and beyond. And that's really what this book is for. And once you are cognizant of these things, like, you can understand like how people are using them against you, and how you can use them against people to get the best outcome. And that's why I really, really, really like this book. Honestly, like, if you're gonna start reading something, I think this would be a very good book to start reading, because it's not saying that it's not deep, but it's not very complex, and it's something that I think everybody can gain something from, because you can start to view how you can apply these laws into each and everyday life, and it can really go a long way to your communication skills. It can go a long way to how you deal with people, and being more crafty, and being more protective of your own interest. And bottom line is, like, we live in a day and age where people are so fake, where people are, willing to sell you out so they get, $5 or $10 or whatever gift card they get for, ratting you out. And it's just like, it's kind of baffling to me that we live in this society, and I don't want it to be this way. But until we make overarching and sweeping changes, like, it's never going to be different, and we need to just learn how to persist and exist. And until you have the freedom that you really want, where you can say whatever you want, where you can go on the internet and talk shit, where you can, basically hold whatever opinions you want, like, you gotta play the game. You gotta be part of the corporate world. You gotta exist in the system, and existing in the system means curtailing some of your personality, curtailing some of your beliefs, towing the party line. And it's not something that I want to do, and it's not something I want to consistently do for the rest of my life, but at this current moment, that's what I have to do. So I'm going to, use the tools in this book, use the tools in other books I read, but 48 Laws of Power is a great place to start learning these things and start learning these principles and start protecting yourself from other people's interests. So go ahead, pick up the book. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for making this far. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.